I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together. Ooh, yeah, Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister.
So come let's work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique together. I want to welcome you to this segment in the program. Again, I want to encourage those on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. I want to start off this morning by saying to you, the opposition is good at making noise. They're good at making you believe all kinds of stuff. But when it comes to them doing things in their constituency, they are not able to do anything, which is sad, because you're not talking about a new party. You're not talking about a party who hasn't been in power for a very long time. You're talking about a party who been in government for 23 years and a half. So you telling me that when they were in power, they never built relationships or created alliances so that even if they're out of power, they can still do things for their constituents? So you only have to be in power to do something, to come up with some initiative, to fix a piece of road, to fix a piece of drain, to repair somebody's home, or to bring some provision for a school, or some citrus for a school, or to bring something for 5 elderly persons or people in that constituency, or assist 5 youth or 5 children in some way or the other. And that is what we are actually seeing. The opposition, all they do is talk. All they do is condemn. All they do is criticize. All they do is talk bad about Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. But when it comes to actual doing, we are not seeing them doing anything in their constituency. For the last 3 years, we have not seen Keith Mitchell, for example, done anything significant in his constituency. But mind you, he's collecting a salary every month as a member of parliament. Not only him, Kate Lewis, for example, she collects a salary as a member of parliament every month. And Emlyn Pear, she collects a salary as a member of parliament every month. And Peter David. And besides that, they're also collecting and Clarice Modeste, they're also collecting constituency allowance to do certain things in their constituency. But I am asking you, the people, what have you seen them do in the constituency? I would love for somebody to call me and tell me what they have seen Kate Lewis did in our constituency, or Emlyn Pay did in our constituency, or Clarice Modeste did in our constituency, or Peter David did in his constituency, or Keith Mitchell did in his constituency. So you must be in government to do something for your people, to help somebody, to come up with some strategy, with some plan, some program, some initiative to transform the lives of people. You have to be in government. I want somebody out there. And folks, maybe I should open up the line. The number to call is 538-0933. 538-0933. Can you tell me, take for instance, you live in Keith Mitchell's constituency, St. George Northwest. Have you seen anything done in that constituency by Keith Mitchell? Remember, Keith Mitchell is a multimillionaire, and he should be collecting a very hefty pension from government, a big pension from government, because he served as a parliamentarian and still serving for 41 years, prime minister for 20-something years. I am saying the man is still the member of parliament for St. George Northwest. What has he done in the last 3 years for his people? I want to know, is there anybody out there who can call me and tell me what they have seen done by Keith Mitchell and his team? As he said in a recent interview, his team visited the family who lost their home due to fire. I want to know, what has this guy done in his constituency, or Kate Lewis, or Peter David, or Emlyn Pay, or Clarice Modeste? You can call if you know of anything that they have done in their constituency. I would love to give them their flowers, right? If you have seen anything in that constituency that they did in the last 3 years. It's like they paralyze politically when they're in opposition. So you must be in government to do something for your people. Have they sponsored a football team? Have they sponsored some netball team? Have they done some community project? Anything whatsoever in their constituency? Because all they do is talk. All they do is talk. And for some strange reason, the media is entertaining them. They would get interviews, right? And they would get platforms to talk, to criticize government, to say all kind of bad things about the country. They're very good at that. But I am saying, folks, come on. They were elected to be the member of parliament for that area. But they have to be in government to do something. You listen to Keith Mitchell with that fire, right? With that fire that destroyed the home of that family in Boucherjou. I haven't heard him on the one in Happy Hill, because the fire in Happy Hill destroyed a number of homes, right? But you listen to Keith Mitchell and you just laugh. You have to laugh. The man is more or less saying they're not in government and they can't do anything much.
Parliamentary Representative for St. George Northwest, Dr. Keith Mitchell, says as an opposition, his organization can only provide basic needs for the fire victim and other forms of moral support. He explained that while his organization is willing to provide housing assistance, the monthly constituency allowances does not allow. However, his office will continue to support the fire victims in every way it possibly can until they return to some form of normalcy.
So I went down to Boucherjou and spoke to a number of people in the area and so on. And I sent my team in the office, my manager and other members, the constituency chairperson, who contacted the lady involved and initiated some help with foodstuff and other things. They did indicate from the report given to me that the problem or they're reasonably okay with as far as basic needs are concerned. And of course they receive a lot of clothes and support that they got from the community and people in general. Yeah, we'll do whatever we can. That is something I always do, whether I'm in government or in opposition, whatever I can. But one thing I would never do is to go and make a promise that I know I will not be able to fulfill. Yeah, and I will continue. But I've been there for 40 years representing these people.
The fire victims in Boucherjou
You see, so in other words, this guy is only able, and he's a good talker. He gives the impression that he has been helping people and doing things in his constituency. But I would love for somebody to testify, for somebody to come out and say, well, Keith Mitchell in the last 3 years did something in Happy Hill for the people in Happy Hill, or Boucherjou, or Brizan, or Graniville, or Cherry Hill, or Grand Mall, or Fontenoy, or Mount Morris. What has the guy done in that constituency in the last 3 years? Because this guy's given me and you the impression that he can't do anything much as an opposition leader. But you were prime minister for all these years. You must have people who you know you can call on, you can team up with to do things in your constituency. They have to be able to take initiatives and do things in that constituency and in the different communities. It doesn't have to be anything huge, but we have not been able to see anything done by the Clarice Modeste, the Kate Lewis, the Peter David, the Emlyn Pear, and Keith Mitchell. Nothing much has happened by these people for their people in their constituency. And I am saying, if these individuals have to be in government to do something, then they should never be in government. They should never get the chance to be in government. Only in government you could do something. And every time you see them on Facebook or Instagram, is because they're showing themselves. They're showing off. You ain't seen them doing things. So you're going to see the Honorable Ron Redhead doing things. You're going to see the Honorable Andy Williams and the others doing things. So you're going to see a video. You might see a photo where they're actually helping people and doing things in their constituency. That is what it's supposed to be. And mind you, it's not always government money they're utilizing to do things in their constituency. They're taking initiatives. They're mobilizing resources and helping their people. I know that personally. So it is high time that we call on the opposition MPs to do things in their constituency, to come up with initiatives. Don't wait when it's close to the election, because when it's close to the election, you're going to see them. They're going to create things to do. They're going to find the resources to do it. So how you could do it close to the election, but all know you can't do it? How is that possible? So you're only doing it for votes? You're only doing it because you want people to vote for you or to view you positively close to the election, you only doing it for personal aggrandizement, personal support. You want them to support you in an election. So close to the election, you're doing one or two things. No, you have to do it now. If you're genuine, if you're sincere, you should do it now. Help your people now. Do things for them now. Don't wait for when it's close to the election. You're finding money all about the place to do things. All know you can't do it. Right? If a fire destroys a home or a house in your constituency, you can't do it. You can't help. Right? You want to write the government to say to them, come and fix it. Although you know the government will fix it anyways. But proper investigation must be done because you don't want people to be burning their house or doing these kind of things with the hope that they're going to just get help from government. You see what I'm talking about? Because there are some wicked people out and about. I'm not saying that the folks who suffered by, their homes getting destroyed by fire and so on, I'm not saying that all of them or they are involved in anything like that. But there are wicked people because they see government helping and building new homes that they will do stupid things. But I am saying, folks, we need to hold the opposition accountable. For 3 years, all they're doing is just talking, nothing more. Complaining. Not once you see them take some initiative to help their people. Not once, But what I understand is that a number of them stockpiling the 10,000 constituency allowance. Not all of them, but a number of them doing that so that they can look good coming closer to school reopening. That is what I understand. So they're using the resources, some of them, to mobilize bags and other things like that with it so that they can look good in the eyes of the people, so that they can give their supporters bags and school supplies from taxpayers $10,000. And nothing wrong with the initiative, but they trying to, again, get some form of political mileage and support from it. That is what I understand that they're doing, some of them. So that $10,000, they have not been using it the way it's supposed to be used every month in the constituency. At least some of them. So they stockpiling it, and then they're trying to use, if you save up 50,000 or 5 months, that's 50,000. 6 months, 60,000, and so on. And they would be able to buy bags with that, bring in bags with that, and some basic supplies. So when it's back to school, end of August, you would see them distributing and parading and showing off. But it's not their money, and they did not raise funds to come up with that. But it's all in the interest of votes and politicking. That's what they're doing, at least some of them. So you have to understand what is at play. That is why you're not seeing them doing anything much in their constituency with that 10,000 constituency allowance. They stockpiling it, at least some of them, with the hope that, back to school, because remember, the government normally gives assistance to parents, back to school vouchers and other things like that, right? To support them, to help them so their children can go to school. But you have a situation where the constituency allowance is not being used by many of those who are collecting it the way it's supposed to be used. And once you start piling it up, piling it up, piling it up. Then you easily have $70,000, $80,000. And then they would use that to get a couple bags, cheap bags from China, right? By the time the students or the kids use it for one term, it can't be used again. Either bust up, mash up, something of that sort. So that's their strategy. And then they will get some exercise books, one or two little notebooks and some pen and pencils, and you're going to see them on social media parading and as though the money comes from their pocket, as though they raise funds to generate it. But that's not the case. That's easy money, taxpayers' money. So we have to be mindful of those things and remain focused, understanding the strategy. Because for the last 3 years, we have not seen anything significant done by these people in their constituency. We hear them talking, we hear them complaining, they concoct stories, and mind you, there is a nasty campaign being waged, right, against members of the government and against the NDC on a whole by the opposition forces in the country. And they're pumping resources into it so that certain podcasters would spread misinformation, false information, spread propaganda, rumors, gossip, concoct stories that would paint a bad picture of certain MPs and government ministers, and they just throw it out there, and they don't care. They don't care. That is what they have been doing for the last many months. And it's like, it's calculative, it's intentional, and it's strategic. It's a serious campaign that they have waging against some of those MPs, and they're targeting some. So they're targeting the Honorable Ron Redhead, they're targeting the Honorable Andy Williams, they're targeting our beloved Prime Minister, they're targeting the Honorable Tevin Andrews, they're targeting the, that is what they have been doing. They have been doing this thing intentionally so. Good morning, Kola.
Good morning, Cam.
Hello, good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
And good morning to your listeners. I just want to chime in a bit, no problem?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cam Jones, this $10,000 was given by the NDC government to these people, yeah? And it?
Yeah, proceed. We are listening to you.
And also, they also increased opposition salary by more. And these people are using that opportunity now to fight the NDC, because the past Prime Minister been in power for 23 odd years, and he never think about doing those things which the new government did with Dick Mitchell. So they're using that now. In other words, you give them bullet to shoot you all. And they're doing nothing. All they're doing is on Facebook, showing off, doing videos, and going around mama guying people. I heard a caller this morning on Shaggy talking about nothing is done after burial. Since Ivan, there are people in Carriacou and Grenada living in poverty since after Ivan and the 10th and trampoline. So what's wrong with these people? They're desperate. Kem, keep up the good work and inform the people what is going on. Please, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dekola. Again, the number 4, well, if you're overseas, you have to add 1473 and then 5380933. So thank you very much, Dekola. It's 5380933. 5380933. Yeah. So you would find that the opposition forces, what they have been doing is using certain programs to mislead the population because they know Grenadians love to consume a lot of information. And many a times it's false. It's bad news, bad information. And it spreads like wildfire. It spreads quickly. When it's false, it spreads fast. When it's true, it goes around very slowly. It takes quite a while to go around the place. And I am saying we have to understand that. If you ask those folks who are pushing the NNP agenda, and mind you, they're all about the police. Well, how you surviving? How you existing? And they will tell you that they're being supported. They're being supported to mislead the public and to spread false information. And they're targeting certain MPs. Let's take this call here. Good morning, caller. Good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. Hello. All right. So that person, we did not get you live. So you can still call back. The number is 538-0933. 538-0933. So if you call that number, you can get on the inside. You can have a say. Yeah. So they're being supported to mislead the public. They're being supported. All right, so someone is trying to reach me, a call. But what they have to do is to call straight. All right? 538-0933. So a lot of those folks you see talking and saying certain things, they're being supported to do it, to undermine our democracy. Good morning, caller.
Cam, good morning.
Good morning.
What's up?
I'm good.
Okay, well, you know the girl that they were there in the Northwest. You know your Northwest girl.
Yes.
In St. George's Northwest. Well, the MP for St. George's Northwest, I haven't seen he done anything. He usually sometimes he come wrong the area, but he have a particular section he usually does go by. That is in the junction there. Because there's a strong supporter, they support him strongly. So he just go and sit down with them for a couple of minutes and then leave and go. But to say, well, like any other thing, nothing which I know about. Nothing. Okay, my boy.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes, so again, the number 538-0933. Yeah, we have to hold these people accountable. All they do is talk. They go on all different programs. They spread a lot of lies, a lot of misinformation. And mind you, they go in on programs where you cannot call in, where you cannot challenge them. You cannot ask them a question. But they will be on that program misinforming, lying for the population. And then you ask them, where is the evidence? And they cannot present any evidence. Let's take that call. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Kim. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm all right for the time.
You want to lower the volume of whatever you're listening to at the back? If it's a radio, just lower the volume.
The radio. I'm going on doing.
No problem. Okay. Take your time and lower the volume.
Yes.
All right? Because you're going to be confused.
Yes.
Let's take that call.
All right.
Yes. Yes, Kim. The Prime Minister go and visit people in his constituency, and he knows that they leave because they lose their houses. The Prime Minister is a millionaire. He can take $500,000.
Hold on. You're confusing it. The former Prime Minister.
Yes, Keith Mitchell.
Oh, the former Prime Minister.
He can help them out. You remember when he was in opposition, what he said concerning Kieran James' parents?
Yes.
If he was in power, he'd have a nice bandana for the lady, give her a nice head. So he can do nothing when he's not in power because he's a millionaire and he's getting old. He's thinking only will last forever. If you want to help people, help them now. Take what you have and help them. People will help you. because they know you helping. But he's not a helper. But he want to come back to rescue Grenada. You can rescue one fire victim. You could rescue 100,000. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you very much, dear. Thank you very much, dear caller. Thank you very much indeed. Yes. So it's the former prime minister. Keith Mitchell is the former prime minister, not the current prime minister. All right. And he is MP, and I think chairman of the NNP. I think it's chairman. Stand to be corrected because you don't really know what's going on now. He's more out there in the public than Emlyn Pay. So you don't even know if the political leader of NNP still exists, that position and that kind of thing. You just don't know. It's what it is. Good.
Good morning to you again. Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, well, Miss Kate Wish, she haven't done nothing up in the communities like St. Andrews, notice there. She don't do nothing at all. I heard that, I think it was last month or sometimes, she took a walk in the community, like she come and look for she supporters, MP, them, her supporters. And I heard that she had some meeting in the community center, upper centers. So that is the only time alone the people see her. And I can't talk about the last time that they don't see her, that she show up, she call us. So any case, you have a good morning.
All right. Yeah, so, but my thing is, they were elected to represent that constituency. And only in government they can do things. So you have to be in government to come up with some initiative, some program, something to help your people. It's strange. It is strange. But it's concerning because they want to come back into power. And if for 3 years, yes, they're in opposition and they have not done one little thing in their constituency to show you that they care, but they want to come back into power. And as the caller said earlier, Keith Mitchell is a multi-millionaire. And what has he done in the last 3 years for his people? The NDC make sure that every MP elected has $10,000 constituency allowance every month. But my question is, what these guys are actually doing with it? What they really doing with it in the constituency? And nobody asking, nobody challenging them. You're not seeing anything at all. And mind you, they love social media. So if you're not seeing anything on their page, you're not seeing them appearing here, there, and everywhere, doing things, it means that they're not doing anything. Because they love the limelight. They love the spotlight. Any little thing for publicity for them. But we have to start challenging them. Because you can't tell me you must be in government to come up with an initiative. I was looking at the news. I think it's in either Barbados or Antigua. And there's an MP who, not in government, but he came up with an initiative to get fire hydrants, the small ones, about 100 of that, to give out to families just in case there's a need for the use of a fire hydrant. Or not hydrant, sorry, extinguisher. Fire extinguisher, not hydrant. A fire extinguisher. So about, I think it was 100 or so of that. Small, cozy, but he came up with that idea, mobilize, organize his friends, his colleagues, and they were able to source a number of those fire extinguishers and have it, distributed in his constituency. He's not the minister. He's not in government. But he's taken initiative even while in opposition. That is what you want to see. You see other MPs, even if they're not in government, they have programs running, summer programs, training programs, other things like that. But you're not seeing the opposition here doing anything. They're not interested in doing anything whatsoever. All they do is talk, 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 condemn, condemn, criticize, criticize, criticize. What initiative they come up with? They talk about the farmers and agriculture. Well, buy some cutlass now and distribute it now. Buy some fork, some rake, some hoe, some, buy fertilizer and bag it up and distribute it now. Raise funds and do that. Nothing they're coming up with. No brilliant idea that they're working on, nothing. But they want to come back in power. And they could only do things when they're in government. I mean, something is strange. Something is strange about all of this. A guy was saying to me, well, when Keith Mitchell was in power, if you used to see line of people in Happy Hill, so where that money, where the source, where that money used to come from, I don't know. I can't tell you if it's his personal money or if it's something somewhere. I don't know. I can't say, but I can ask the question because he's in opposition. You're not seeing the line and these lines and lines of people going to beg for anything. What happened to the lines where when the money no longer exists? That's my question. I'm questioning that to say, that should continue. You should still be seeing long lines in Happy Hill and people go in there and beg him to assist them. That should still be continuing. But you're not seeing that. No, he's not in government. So only in government you could do that? Boy, I don't know. I just don't know. But people need to start to question those things. You have to start questioning it. A fire destroyed a home in your constituency. We're not saying that you have to fix everything. No. But what you doing to help? Hello? Yeah, you're calling me on the wrong number. You have to call me on 538-0933.
538-0933.
Yes, 538-0933. Yes. Yes, so if you want to be on the program, you have to call 538-0933. Yeah, so you see, for me, I cannot accuse the individual and say, well, his money was his personal money or his money came from another source. I can't say that. I don't know. But what I can tell you is that there were long lines in Happy Hill and those places, right? So why not that continue? We need to see it continue. All now. So you have to be in government to do it. You see, sometimes you have to start thinking critically and asking some important questions. Because I would love to see the opposition doing things, meaningful stuff. Not just condemn, criticize, criticize, criticize. You always have something bad to say. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, good morning. Yes, you're live. Go ahead. You're live.
Yeah. You was talking about the fire extinguisher. You know what I find? The fire extinguisher should have given out to houses that close. That's the first priority. Houses that close, you give it out.
Right.
This is the first. Yeah, this is my first time on the radio.
Okay. Oh, nice,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So thanks a lot. Do the good work.
Our blessings.
Yeah. Okay. Have a nice day.
Yeah. So now I was saying that. All right. Let's take that call. Someone was trying to reach me. Yeah. So I was saying that opposition MP took that initiative and decided to get some fire extinguishers and distribute it in the constituency, right? And even if you distribute 10, that's good. At least you see that they're making an effort to do things in the constituency. That's what you want. That's what you want to see. But you're in opposition, you're not doing anything, but just talk, 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 criticize, criticize, criticize. Huh? Come on. I think Keith Mitchell will be on some program in a while. My thing is, let's take that call. Good morning.
Hey, morning, Kim.
Good morning.
Yeah, these people like a bunch of parasites. The only thing, everything that the government is doing that is good. The only thing I haven't heard them condemn is the increase in salary and the $10,000. That is the long and there is nothing about that is good.
So they have not condemned these two things. Yeah. So yeah, because they were not getting the amount of money they get in now as salary. The NDC increased that. And they're benefiting from that. Also, the constituency allowance, that was never in place. NDC introduced that. Yep. Folks, don't forget the 1st to the 3rd Caracou Regatta, the Calhoun Memorial Challenge, right? From the 1st to the 3rd of August. Organize, mobilize, and go up to Caracou and be a part of this. Enjoy the regatta. I'll tell you more about that again tonight. All right. And the NDC chapter, New York chapter, they're having the family fun day. So family fun day, it's free. And they're also giving you free dental stuff or dental giveaways. All right. Music, food, vibes, games, just fun in the park. So please be a part of that. I think it's on the weekend, Sunday. And then the Honorable Claudette Joseph, she has her cruise coming up on Saturday. Boarding time, 1 p.m. Tickets, well, a ticket is $80. Please support. Rum Runner 2. Good vibes. Really good vibes. Yeah, so I'm saying to all of us, we need to hold these people accountable. We need to challenge them. We need to ask tough questions. Good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Jones. How's your baby and the family doing? I hope you're doing fine. Yes, I'd like to remind the government and the MPs that they had a pilot program about the tablet for the school. They had a pilot program. I wonder if they can reinitiate that program because the books are quite expensive for poor people to pay. And that's the technology is here where all these stuff, the books are getting eaten up by termites. You pay for the books, you're not able to use the whole book. But I wonder if they can really pursue that so the children won't have to work with all these books. The parents won't have to buy all this money in books. That pilot program is a very good one. Have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you very much. There, yeah. I remember there was the free textbook program. I don't know if that is still around because the NNP watered down that program. The NDC introduced that program where they were purchasing new books and students were able to access it. I don't know if that is still around. And the tablet in schools, that program is a good program because nowadays it's ebooks, everything is online. So that's a very good suggestion there, caller, because books are pretty expensive anyhow you look at it, and many a times the children, they don't really use the books that much in school because the teachers, for example, my daughter, Zeli, when she comes home with assignments, majority of times it's not really from the book. Some printout, right? Because there is a lot of resources out there that teachers can use, materials they can use to help the kids. And anything they come up with or she comes home with, I can find it online. I can get the resources there. So it's a very good point the gentleman is making. Books are really, really expensive. Folks, I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day. I will be back with you tonight, God's willing, again.